Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is always the Wednesday edition where we talk about relationship, love, and everything you need to know about love. Of course, with none other than the one and only nyokabigk. Come on, good evening.
Kujaribu nayo, kujitolea nayo Luguyani. You're pumped, you're psyched for this show, man. Good evening, my friend. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm more interested and very excited because I'm going to learn more about dating and courtship and all those jargons that we talk about when it comes to relationship and matters relationship. And that's why I have you here with me.
Drum rolls, please. Thank you. You're far too kind. Yes.
Introduce yourself, Parakaraka, kabla we go to the details of the show.
Oh man, good evening everybody. Who doesn't know me? Good evening everybody on Facebook Live. My name is nyokabigk Kamau and I am your all-time relationship coach, and I'm here to talk about relationships. I'm here to talk about levels of friendships, levels of dating, to clear any confusion yenye nakuanga. Let's talk about these things and understand how relationships evolves, how they get to where they are getting, what level is your relationship, how should you be able to identify a relationship haiendi vile mimi nilikuwa nafikiria, imevuka mipaka, how do you put a stop to it? So these are the things we are talking about early. And before niendelee, unanijua mimi lazima nisalimie mashabiki na wasalimia nyote, everybody who is viewing in the comment section, karibuni sana. All those people who have opened the link and have shared the link and have posted on their Facebook pages, good evening to each and every one of you. Let's get on with this, man. Let's talk about these things. Let's talk about, unajua Eli, when I saw this thing umeandika hapo the 9 yards kwa poster, nikajua huyu mwanaume ako na agenda. Unajua ni Wednesday show. Sasa ukisema lazima tutatumia hii the 9 yards mahali pengine Eli tuongee about hizi vitu. Si unajua Wednesday lazima tuchafue.
That's what we today,
Wednesday.
Raw as it comes. So you can lay it bare in the comment section. Be part of the conversation. Remember, you can always use the hashtag @inart, responding to live, hashtag nyokabigk, hashtag Tina Kagia, and hashtag any hashtag that you feel will feel tonight. It's your time. Be part of the conversation. So Nyokabi, the 9 yards, before you say I do, you know that's always the problem. Kimbele mbele. Sisi ndio. Oh, by the way, they proposed. So before you say I do Nyokabi, what is the first step? And I think the first step that is more important, you were mentioning to me, tunaanzia hapo.
Levels of friendship. Tunaanzia levels of friendship, and I want to be very clear, and today by the way I want to stay on topic. I want to stay focused. Hii coaching session leo nataka nikae, sitaki kwenda na rabbit trail. I want to stay focused ndio people will understand the levels of friendship. When you talk about levels of friendship, you're talking about the evolving of a friendship. How does a relationship evolve? How does it grow? How does it turn one page to another page? Now a relationship starts from a blank page, the way you have a book and it has a blank page, and that is strangers. That is where a relationship starts from. Strangers in the sense that you're not aware of my existence and I'm not aware of your existence. And to prove that that is a relationship, there are people here who are following me and seeing me and they know me as nyokabigk Kamau, and we are strangers. We've never met. Akiuliza unajua coach mgani anasema nyokabigk Kamau. Enda kwa page yake. They know Nyokabi. Ama wanasema Eli. Yes, ukitaka kusikiza mambo ya Art in Heart, enda kwa Eli, and you're strangers. So yes, relationships start from being strangers. That is the first stage of a relationship, the plain page of a book, and now you start writing the script. The first topic of the first subtopic of friendship levels is acquaintances. And when I talk about acquaintance, people think, oh, Nyokabi, we are acquaintance. Oh, why do you always emphasize this thing about relationships? Because this is a very important stage of the relationship, to be acquainted with one another. Acquaintance means that I'm aware that you exist and we occasionally interact. But we know each other. We are not totally strangers. I know you, you know me. I have the knowledge about you, you have the knowledge about me. You may not even know my name per se, but you know that I exist. So we are acquainted. We say hi to each other. Tunapatana kwa corridor, tunapatana kwa parking lot, tunapatana kwa lift. We are acquainted with one another. I know you exist. Tunapatana kwa board meetings, tunapatana hapa Facebook. Nikiona hapa kama Norina Mbata, najua we are acquaintance. Nikiwapata Kiprono Roda, we are acquainted. Najua kuna Kiprono, kuna, we know each other. We are acquainted with each other, but you haven't really interacted beyond that. So from that level, when you come from the level of acquaintance, then you go into the next level of casual friendship or general friends. General friends or casual friendship, meaning that, at this stage, you know a little bit more about me. Like, for example, you know my names. Now you can be able to say, fulani anaitwa Nyokabi. Ama fulani anafanyanga, anakuanga place fulani. You can be able to pick out a few details about me as a person. And by the way, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking about romantic relationships. Today we are focusing na watu wa kupendana, watu wa packaging, watu wa kwenda kuishi pamoja, watu wa kukutana weekend. Your relationship needs to evolve the right way. So when
I prefer their part of packaging because for those who do not understand packaging, especially the international audience, packaging it's a slang language that just says packaging. Yes. So you can just packaging and understand it's about packaging. So, Nyokabi,
yes.
So that we stay in the script that we have really worked hard to create,
yes.
we need to make it people understand we are talking about romantic kind of friendships. But even before they get to the place that you guys are doing stiach and are enjoying one another and you're calling each other baby and are calling each other all those sweet names, it starts from what we said, the acquaintance level. And then we've gone to that one that Nyokabi is now talking about. But before we discuss them, why don't you go to the comment section to one ni nani anasema nini? They might be having questions.
Wasalimie.
They could be having questions.
Wanasema aje hapa kwa comment section.
Yeah.
Wataka kuanzia wapi?
Acha tuanzie juu kwa juu. Mwenye amepita na sisi, okay, Shifi Jumane, VP poa sana, Shoti Kerry, dope, karibu, yes. Jeremy Mwangi nafikiri ameka zile with this system you cannot see the GIFs, so you'll excuse us. 5 ways to be, okay, fine. Okay. Nyokabi, you want to read that one? It's really some literature from Ken Koome.
Sasa sijui kama huyu anatubadilishia topic. Leo tumesema hatuendi on rabbit trail. Koome, stick to the conversation. We are not going on a rabbit trail. So anasema 5 ways for a man to be happy with a woman. Number 1, be with a woman who makes you laugh. That is quite important. This is at general friend or casual friendship is where you discover that woman can make you laugh. Be with a woman who gives you her time. Again, this comes now, it moves from the general friend into an intimate friend. Be with a friend who takes care of you. Again, intimate friend. Be with a woman who really loves you. Now this becomes exclusive. Matters love, matters intimacy becomes exclusive. Finally, make sure those 4 women don't know each other.
Like dude, we were really following on your advice until the last part. Like seriously, dude. It's all right.
Anajaribu kusema that it's not possible to find these 4 women in one woman. And I want to tell you, it is very possible to find these 4 women in one woman if you follow the stages we are talking about. Liku Yani, continue with the comments.
Let's have here Wycliffe Gaddafi. Thank you. Welcome. And hello, GK to you. We have Peter Mwaura says, okay, amekubaliana na story ya Koome. Nancy Auma says, noted. Simon Wafula, Nono Supu. I don't know what is that supposed to mean. Miss Jane, welcome to the show. Then we have Wycliffe say, hey, leo nimeraukia hapa. Najua lazima niomoke na tips. Okay, yes, that's for sure. That's for sure. Exactly. Lilian Ann, karibu sana, Kiproroda, Peter Mwaura. Stop beating about the bush. When the man is broke, stop beating about the bush. So that's how you fulfill your relationships. It's all right. Let's see who else is here. Wilfred Musiri, karibu sana, you're locked. Gashumba, Davide, you are listening in. And yes, the list continues to the repetition part. So we were on the second level of friendship, and we are talking about, before you say I do, what are the 9 yards? And as we get to the 9 yards, GK has already started with the first one, the friendship level. Alafu tumeongelea acquaintance. Alafu sasa kuna ile ingine kwa naongelea. So go with the second one as we proceed to the third one.
So we were talking about casual friendship or general friendship. Na hapa ndipo tule uto tu features wenye nani anatuambia we need to look out for a woman who brings out a certain thing out of you and you bring out a certain thing out of them. And these casual friends is where now you discover the personality of the person. Can you interact more than just at the level of acquaintance? Can you become deeper? Can this relationship grow from that level? It stops being general. Now, by there, when you're general friends, they normally hang out with other general friends. Rarely will you find mtu general ati mmepatana kwa plot umemwambia hey, twende tupate ka drink pale. No. General friends utapata mko kwa group fulani, unajua huyu ni Nyokabi, huyu ni Eli, huyu ni Kamau, huyu ni Njogona. You're just not ujua anaendeshanga gari gani, but you are aware of their name and you do what you know
they exist somewhere.
Na unajuanga akilewa anapasa out, ni wale watu wa kulala kwa table, si unajua au or wala
tunaenda kuongea kwambia sema babe
ndio hao akilewa anaanza kukatia ile demo yako kwa hiyo meza across. Those are general friends. Hakuna kitu detail hapo zaidi hapo Eli. And by the way, kabla nimalize hizi levels, at all these levels there is possibility of packaging. Even at acquaintance level, even at strangers level, there is possibility of packaging. And when I say there's possibility,
we meet and then we chat. That's what you're talking about.
Hapa acquaintance mmepatana kwa club. Wewe pombe imekuingia imekuja. Umeanza kuona huyu mrembo imeweza. Umeangalia kwa
they start singing there. They start being very and they start pombe sigara. Naweza wacha bila kung'ang'ana. Lakini huyu Nyokabi vile tuwapenda.
Mko acquainted, mmepatana kwa club, haujui anaitwa nani, hajui unaitwa nani, mmepatana mnafiliana the next thing.
And the weather is right now hot in Nairobi with all the rains.
Yes, the problem that comes from there, Eli, is that at those levels when packaging is involved for women, story changes. Tutafika kwa hiyo story, msisahau mweke hizo questions zikikama hapo tutazijibu. So when you come from the casual friend or the general friend, we get into the close friend. The close friend says I understand you. A close friend says I understand you. When you say the word understand, this is somebody who now begins to know you as a person. Outside of the talkative person that I am, there's somebody who knows me deeper than that. They know that I like to be quiet. I like to be withdrawn. I'm not easily excited about some things. They begin to understand. They start knowing details about me. They start knowing, Nyokabi is married to so and so, Nyokabi. You become a close friend. If something is happening in my family, I'll call you and let you know. Unajua watu wa casual friends ama general friends, ukiwa uko na best yako na kwa uko na matanga na hajakwambia, you're not a close friend. You're a general friend. Wata kushinda kutupa tantra.
Wait.
Stick to your level. Stick to your level.
Let me jump the gun here for a second. So you're trying to tell me if you're in a relationship and bae doesn't call you to tell you by that kona matanga we are doing contribution for ABCD, you are not being paid.
No.
When mpita njia. I've seen why I've been failing in all my relationships, Nyokabi.
And this is a beautiful red flag for all women. If your bae does not tell you what's happening to his life, haujafika close friend. Haujakuwa close friend at you're the first person he thinks about and calls and tells, you know what, I've just lost my job. Unajua niko na deadline. Those intimate conversations, this person begins to understand you. They know you beyond the casual way of life. They know you beyond the laughter. They know you beyond the alcoholism. They know you beyond the road trips and what are they called? All those things that are social activities that people do. This person knows you more than that. They know you now. They start to get closer to you. And we are talking about romantic relationships early. If you're in a romantic relationship with a person who does not disclose to you, unasikianga ati walikuwa anazika shushu yake Saturday. Na mko in a romantic hey, my friend. Iko shida. Hata mkiingia kwa ndoa.
I've lived through
that. Things will be happening and they'll not be involving you.
I've lived through that and you're saddening my heart. Because hapo unasema if bae doesn't tell you.
Yes.
Na kumbe pia asichana wenye watu waambii, for example, you've just had a nice lunch, you've talked, you've conversed, it's evening, and then all of a sudden ninanyesha. All through the day they knew walikuwa wananyesha, they didn't involve you. They didn't let you know.
They did. That means the relationship hasn't evolved properly, because your situation ya kukuwa unanyesha should not be a threat to the interaction. It should not be a threat to the date. It means this girl is not comfortable with being open to you, because kuna wanaume ukiwaambia unanyesha, all of a sudden mkutano inapatikana. Hiyo lunch yenye alikuwa amekuita story nice hapo, hata utakula chipo alikuwa amekwambia.
So dem anapiga, you are really calculating ni kuku nitapita nayo ama ni kunyesha. So hii kunyesha comes after.
So amekupigia simu amekwambia I'm on my way babe, nimekuja kukupika, alafu naambia oh menda, lakini nanyesha, anakwambia gari imepata pancha. Hiyo story inaishi.
No, that's the time you go, hello.
Is not going
hello
down.
Can you hear me? I beg, what's wrong with this number?
Network imeleta shida. So mko in a different, one of you is in a different level of the relationship, the other is in a different level of relationship. Tukitoka kwa close friend, eli tunaingia mtu anaitwa intimate friend. Intimate friend is a connected, you connect soul to soul. Now this is a person you share your dreams with. You let them know your aspirations. And I'm not talking about ile bragging, mtu amelewa hapa anaanza kukwambia by the way unajua napanga kununua KV8. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the person that opens their heart to you and lets you know, I've always aspired to own my own home in a particular area. They can trust you with that information. I have a very bad relationship, or I have a broken relationship with this person, and I would like an opportunity to mend that relationship. Lakini every time nikijaribu, huyu mse anani let down. That's an intimate friend. Anakuopenia up. Anakwambia by the way, me and God, we are not in talking terms. Ameni piss off by the way. Nilimwambia anipatie hii job, nipromotiwe, mse mwingine akapromotiwa. That's an intimate friend. You start having authentic conversations. They share their fears with you. And if you're in a romantic relationship, you need that person to be intimate with you. They need to tell you, I am afraid that you're going to leave me. I am afraid to tell you I'm on my periods because I think you'll not come to pick me regardless. So you begin to show loyalty. You begin to connect soul to soul. Packaging stops being an act and it starts being an art. It starts being a connection. It starts being a love language.
Start being art in heart.
Mpaka nimekuwa poet, you know. Inaenda ikiingiana, yani inakuwa relationship ingine hapo moto. Muna discuss, anakuambia you know what, akikwambia ati sijalipa rent amaanishi anataka umkopeshe pesa. Anakuwa open na wewe, anakuambia hata ukiniona hapa manze nimechelewa kulipa rent, sina food kwa hao. Your intimate friends. Huyo msee anaweza kuja kwake akwambia niko na unga moja tunagawana nusu nusu. Anakugawia, anakupatia, na haizi ambia mtu mwingine ati huyo hata ukimwona hapa
mimi. As long as that guy is not lawyer, there's no problem. They will share their unga pakiti moja.
Uluya itakumaliza baba. Uluya itakumaliza. So this is an intimate friend. Mtu mnaingiana, muna share their biggest fears. They share their biggest insecurities, because intimacy is about vulnerability. People think intimacy is about packaging or is about sexual activities. But intimacy has nothing to do with sexual activities. It has more to do with vulnerability and openness and allowing yourself to be vulnerable with your partner. You can be vulnerable with your partner with your weakness or with your strength, because there are people who you can't trust with your visions and your dreams and your aspirations. So that is what an intimate friend is about. You can openly tell them, you know what, nimeshinda lotto 1 million. Hata kama sitakuwa nimeshinda. Yeah. Na unajua huyo mtu
what is the first name of that? What is their first name? Kwa ID card. Nyokabi ama Njeli.
It doesn't matter. When it comes to an intimate friend, Eli, it doesn't matter where they are at. Eli, nataka niende through hizi vitu ndio watu waulize maswali hapo kwa comments. Tunakuja hapo kwa comment section kujibu hizo maswali. About those relationship levels. Now I go to the last part, which is exclusive friend. We are talking about romantic partners. Now this exclusive friend is now the soulmate. You connect not just physically, not just emotionally, not just intellectually, you also connect sexually. Now, this is a person who you're comfortable being naked with. This is a person who you can fart in front of them and feel comfortable. Anakwambia hey, kwani umekula nini? Yo garlic imekuleta boss. And you laugh about it and you have
that is the level you can equally just go to the washroom and pee and do the rest and feel no
shame. But
is this also the level that you equally take your shower with cameras on, lights, action?
na uko tu sawa. And you know, Ellie, I have been in a romantic relationship where I could not go to the washroom and do my shit. Singeenda huko nifanye
But
business
that's why
yangu
you're
ya
supposed to handle your shit.
Yes, I can't handle it when the person is there. Unafunga mlango, unapiga spray, unafanya kila kitu because you're uncomfortable. You're not there yet. The
that
intimate
person was not in for you.
Muliruka your stage, you're intimate. You did not connect soul to soul. You did not connect about fears and laughters and discomforts, ups and downs of life, discouragement and fulfillment, and all those things you did not connect at the stage where you connected. You jumped from general friends into exclusive friends without allowing the relationship to grow to that level. So mko hapa mko exclusive, mambo yenyu ni exclusive kabisa. You are royal to one partner. And by the way, this exclusive stage, you can't be on it on your own. Your partner has to be on board with you on the exclusive stage. Unaweza kuwa hapo unasema wewe uko exclusive alafu unapata kadem kwa hao, unamuuliza huyu ni nani, anakuuliza wewe ni nani, unaniuliza huyu ni nani, wewe ni nani,
and you've been paying rent.
Nani amekupatia hiyo capacity ya kuniuliza huyu ni nani? You know, because you're in a different level in the relationship than the other person. And packaging does not give you exclusivity. Packaging does not give you intimacy. Packaging does not give you close friend. It does not give you anything other than just that.
Okabe, you're hurting my heart.
I'm sorry.
All this time I thought I had, when I've read all those papers in the books and I have progressed well, I am equally, umeniambia that does not determine who I am in the relationship.
No. And that's why
so even if I quote somebody who said, I am who I am nothing. I am just who I am.
Yes,
it's all right.
You're just who you. I had a friend of mine the other day. I was having a conversation with this gentleman, and I asked him. I always ask men about intimacy because I like to understand how the brain of a man works when it comes to intimacy. And I asked them, why would you have packaging with somebody who you don't have a romantic relationship with? And he told me packaging is like food to men. Vile unasikianga ja, unaingia kwa hoteli, unakula food, unatoka. That is the way packaging is for men. Uko available.
Uko na matumbo ugali? No, okay, next.
Uko available. Unataka kufanya hiki kitu, mtu anakuja anapita nayo, anaoga, anasahau your story. Especially married men, they do it for that 3 minutes and then after that they shower and their mind shifts and they go back to their homes. Sasa huyu dem anabaki hapa anashindwa, why is there no connection? Why is there no intimacy? Why isn't he cuddling me afterwards? Because the relationship is not at that level. You're looking for something that isn't there. You have not cultivated it, you have not developed it, you have not even built that royalty. So you're in an exclusive relationship by yourself. And that is why you find mwanaume, dem akona mwanaume, lakini mwanaume ni sura mbaya, sorry. They are all good, they are fearfully
Sura personal.
They are fearfully made. Yes, sura personal. Akona kitambi hapa ni mfupi, hata unashindwa vile hii kitu inaendanga. You know the connection, how do they do?
The thing of God is important.
But because ana provide na analeta pesa, the relationship is intimate, is sexual. Let me use the word is sexual, but it lacks intimacy. You find that people who are in marriages early, na mmekaa kwa hiyo marriage, ukiingia kwao hata hawawezi crack joke, hata waongeleshani, unashindwa hao watu wanaishingi aje. They skipped the intimate friend. Yes, but they have children, they have built a home. You can see they have a whole life, but they lack intimacy. Uonange tu wanatembea wameshikana mkono hata kwa harusi. I don't know whether Eli ushaenda harusi, groom na bride wanashinda akiambiwa shikaneni mkono, shikaneni mkono. I mean, these guys are getting married. If you can't hold hands, how are you going to do everything else? I mean, you know. So do not skip the stage of building intimacy. Nataka watu waniulize hizo vitu zina build yangu aje intimacy, how do you build them? How do you build the exclusive relationship? Hapo kwa comments tuenda tukizijibu. Eli,
watu wa comments, simcheze kama nyinyi
sasa kwa dating. Ndio sasa in half time tuingie dating, tuingie courtship, tuingie engagement, to define hizi vitu zote watu wa understand tuko wapi, to reduce confusion. Watu wa comments
just that you don't forget, you could be in a relationship that you are exclusively in that relationship all by yourself. So find out as we continue with the discussion. This world is ruthless. It is mannerless. It is everything except you. So take care of your mental wellness. Let's go to who did not mention what they had to mention. Okay, Njeru Mwangi. Hi, people. Welcome to the show. Njeri Mwangi, Lilian Ann, Karibu Sana. Kibro Roda, good evening to you. We had actually addressed some of these comments. allow me to continue further, Nyokabi. Let's see.
I'm really enjoying this discussion. Thank you
Miki
so much,
Kamau.
Miki
Yes.
Kamau.
Yeah.
Kuna comment hapa nimeona nataka kuhighlight before you go through the comment section and find the new comments. So Godwin is asking, how do you build intimacy in a relationship? How do you build?
That's right. That's very easy. Unararuana tu.
Hakuna, nimesema intimacy has nothing to do with sexual acts. It has everything to do with intellectual conversations. Number one, you build intellectual conversations, and intellectual conversations are built. And I want to give you an example of how you build an intellectual conversation. When I first got married, my husband was the person who is very conversant. He still is very conversant with general knowledge. He knows a lot of general knowledge. He knows who is the president of which countries in which map. Na sasa mimi Nyokabi, these things I did not know. So you would find akiniambia sijui president fulani amefanya nini, namuuliza huyo ni president wa country gani? Hiyo country iko wapi? And then there are also other things you will see. Akiangalia mtu fulani physical living anakuambia huyu ni Rwanda, huyu ni Uganda, huyu ni Meru, huyu ni mimi. I don't have hiyo jicho. So how do you develop an intellectual conversation? You find a common things that you can work together. For us, we found documentaries, all kinds of documentaries, from animal documentaries to crime documentaries, all kinds of, to film documentaries, all kinds of documentaries. And because I enjoy documentaries and he enjoys documentaries, then we developed our intellectual conversation from there. So when he's talking about a particular animal, I'm able to get interested and get into that conversation. When he's watching a particular documentary, I'm able to also get engaged. So we kept the intellectual conversation growing. So instead of focusing on political things that I don't understand and I'm not interested in, we focus on another thing that helps the intellectual conversation to grow. And in the process, you find that that person keeps on educating you as you move along, because intellectual conversations are very important in romantic relationships. If you can't have an intellectual conversation with your partner, nakwambia huyo mtu atakuwa kuna mahali itafika akuchokeshe. At every time ukipiga simu, sijui mtoto amejikunia, mtoto amejikojorea, sijui msichana wa kazi nilimtuma soko akaenda masaa mawili. You never talk about anything else beyond that. Oh, sijui school fees haijalipwa, unakuja saa ngapi, kwa nini hujafika? You never talk about beyond that. Find other things to talk about. Talk about cars, talk about other things. Find other things to intellectually engage each other. Okay, and then also start sharing your dreams and your fears. This is how you build intimacy in a relationship. Become vulnerable with your partner. Allow yourself to experience fear. Allow yourself to experience strength within the relationship. Do not be afraid for being a go-getter. Do not be afraid to show your partner that you have big dreams, you have big aspirations, you have a vision, you have what you want in life. This challenges you, this makes you fearful. Open yourself up to your partner, but let it not be one way. That's why we are calling it intimate friend. This is a person you open up to, they open up to you. Another way is to also develop the spiritual relationship. Again, another aspect of relationships that is very important aside from sexual relationship. You can open up to this person. You can tell them, hey, mi na Mungu hatusikizani sahi. I mean, I'm taking a break from the relationship with God. And this person will not judge you and say you have become an atheist. Oh, I didn't want to date somebody who doesn't go to church. They understand the dynamics that you're going through in your spiritual walk. There are people who can pray with you. There are people who have exclusive relationship na hawezi omba pamoja, and nyinyi wawili ni believers na mnaendanga kanisa. Mkisema tuombe mnaanza kuogopana na kusikiliana aibu, atakujudge. You can't be able to be vulnerable with them spiritually. This is how you create an intimate relationship. Again, when it comes to money matters, debt and money, be vulnerable. Let your partner know, niko na 1,000 tu, kwa hivyo usikule kuku, either ukule chips ama kuku, and you're certain the next time you call this girl for a date, she will come. You're not afraid to tell her usikunywe juice, usikunywe soda mbili, ama ukimnunulia juice unaambia upeleke hiyo straw, upeleke polepole mtu wangu. My person,
cheza kama wewe.
Nikubaya, usicheze kama wewe, nikubaya.
Nyokabi, let's take a break. We'll be right back. And for everybody that is enjoying the show, let us know where you're watching us from. What do you think of the topic? And what are your questions to the coach tonight? Because before you say I do, what are the 9 yards? We talked about friendship and exclusivity of the friendship. We want to go to the next level, which is dating. So let's come back after the break and talk more about dating. And welcome back. My name is Lekuyani Eli, and we're on the late night date with nyokabigk. Come on, she's back and she's hot and she's gonna talk about dating. Nyokabi, you and I
Yes,
are going on a date, but
yes.
before we do that, just tell me how we're gonna dating. When do you say now I'm ready to date, and what is dating in the first place?
Let us first of all understand what is dating and where dating falls in the level of the relationships that we talked about, the levels of friendships. First of all, dating falls under general friends. It doesn't fall under intimate, exclusive. It falls at the beginning. It falls under general friends. There is nothing exclusive about it. There is nothing intimate about it. The purpose of a date is for you to interact with this person and see whether the relationship can grow into something more. So when you're dating, you shouldn't be saying, wewe ninakudate na unaenda out na mtu fulani.
So tusisumbuane.
Hii ni general.
Mimi
Unaweza kuwa na date
kukudate is not your
yes,
passport and the
it's
green
not.
card to start
Yes,
harassing me.
and
Nyokabi.
dating is not exclusive. Dating is general. I can invite you, Ellie, as my friend to a date. I can invite Rose, my friend, to a date. I can invite my husband come out to a date. I can take my children out on a date. So dating is not exclusive. It falls under general friends. So when you say you have picked a day, you have decided you are going to do a particular activity together, that is a date. Right? That is the first level of dating. Ladies, please do not confuse this first level of dating. This is the second level of dating that leads into courtship. Now, the second level of dating becomes more exclusive. Nikikuita date, ukuja na mabeshte zako. That is not an exclusive date. Ati Eli umeniambia Nyokabi, tupatane sijui la Kaskada, nimekuja na sijui Rose, nimekuja na Mukami, nimekuja na Ruth. It is not a date. It's a general, it's a social gathering.
Na wote ukiwapea chai wanakunywa kama maji. Tafadhali tusizoeane. I only have 1,000 bob to spend on you, Nyokabi.
It is a social gathering. It is not a date.
Public gathering, not social. You're calling it too good. That's a public gathering.
By the fact that you brought your friends or you brought your friend or you came with accompaniment of somebody else, it means this is not an exclusive dating, it's a general dating. You are getting acquainted with this person, you're getting familiar with this person, you're trying to get to know this person. Ama ni mtu mwenye anaweza kuwekea mchele, ama ni mtu mwenye ukikula food atalipa bill. So these are the things, they are general, it's general, it's not intimate. Now when you move from dating, this is where now the issue comes in. Na hapa ndipo napigangwa kwa social media. When you're in courtship, that is when now the relationship becomes exclusive and it becomes an intimate relationship. Tafadhali.
Hebu rudia hiyo kitu vizuri, DJ. Take it again.
Mukitoka dating, because like we have learned today, there are levels of relationships, Eli. Mukitoka general dating, yenye unakuja na marafiki zako, ya anakuja na marafiki zako, ya zake, munapatana kwa club pali pako na kelele, munalewa, munaenda nyumbani, you're socially gathering, you're just having a social interaction.
Somebody has said it's an AGM.
Yes, it's a general meeting.
It's all right.
Sasa mukiingia kwa courtship. Sasa courtship is now a different level of the relationship. Now during courtship, Eli, this is where now we begin to have intimate conversations. Kwenyu ni wapi? Kwetu ni Murang'a. Kwenyu mko wangapi? Niko na brother wawili na wasista watatu. You see, we can't have this conversation when your friends are there and my friends are there.
But don't ask that to a man. I hope you're asking a lady mko na brother wangapi.
No. We are trying to get to know either. We are building the courtship. Kwenye mkioana, what happens? What happens? You know, these are the hard questions that now you begin to ask during courtship. And people go all the way to marriage without asking their partner, what are your marriage rights in your family? How do you go about your marriage rights in your family? What does it mean when I get married into your family? How do you treat people when they get married into your family? What is the expectation?
And if you die?
Yes. What happens when you die? What happens to inheritance and property? What happens to when you have money and I don't have money? Who is going to be the housewife, you or me? During courtship, these are the things that you begin to discuss. You have moved from the first stage of dating, you have moved to the second stage of dating. Now you're in courtship. When you move to the second stage of dating, you're in courtship. You're beginning to know this person better. You ask them, by the way, ukikasirika unafanyanga nini?
Kwetu tuko na hasira sana. Kwetu tuko na hasira.
Ukikasirika unafanyanga ama ni nini naweza kufanya ikukasirishe? You start beginning to know this person deeper than just the surface. You ask them, what are your deal breakers? This is where a girl tells you, mimi ukinichapa nimerudi kwetu. Mimi nikikushika na demu mwingine utajua ujui. This is when you start having this conversation.
Unaweza tushika na tunasoma Biblia, Nyokabi. You don't have to.
No. Eli, let's discuss these things. Mnasoma Biblia kwa nini mkiwa kwa nyumba peke yenu wawili mmefunga mlango na hamna nguo?
Popote wawili ama watatu wamekusanyika. Wherever 2 or 3 are gathered, the Lord is with them.
This is not the men's den. This is Wednesday show, date night date with Nyokabi and Eli, my friend.
Wacha kuleta mambo ya the men's den hapa.
Wacha kuleta muongoje siku yenyu mu discuss mambo ya men's den. So tuko hapa mmekaa mko in courtship. You're asking the hard questions. You're talking about money and debt. You're talking about spiritual obligations. You're talking about traditional obligations. You're talking about the family ethics and the family culture and their way of life. You're interacting during courtship. Unapatana na sister yangu unamjua, unapatana na bro yangu unamjua, anajua na Nyokavu anakuanga na mtu fulani chini ya maji muna interact tu hapa na pale. You start knowing my best friend. In case I lose my mind, who should I call? During courtship, this is when you have these conversations. Ile siku nitaamka asubuhi nitoe nguo zangu hivi nitoke nje, utaita rafiki yangu mgani? During courtship, this is when you have these conversations.
Is this also the time that you are allowed to remove your wig and just show what you have instead of what you've been hiding?
And remove your makeup. And if your teeth come out, remove them also. If your eyeballs come out, then remove them and put them. If you have no eyebrows like Nyokabi, wipe them. Let him know.
Are we courting or are we dating? I'm asking babe, are we dating or courting? Because I can see where we are. It's all right. Continue, Nyokabi.
So during courtship is when now you really unveil and reveal things. You remove the skeletons from the closet. This is where now you start farting around your partner when at a behavior. There are people who are married. I've seen couples who a woman waits for their husband to go on road trips, mambo ya kazi ndio afat kwa nyumba yake, because akifat huyo mwanaume anakuwa versatile, wanapigana mbaya sana. Wewe mbaya hapa una heshima, anamchapa coffee. You see, during courtship, this is where you want to define what kind of a marriage you will be having, what kind of a relationship will you be having. This is where now during courtship, this is where you do your premarital counseling sessions. Sasa hapa ndio shida inaingia. Ati Nyokabi, during courtship is too early to do premarital. That is the right time to do premarital sessions before you even engage each other. Ndio muongea hizi vitu zenye hamtaki kuongea. Ndio muulizane hizi maswali zenye mnaogopana, mnaona ukimuuliza atakuacha, ukimwambia atakuacha. So that now you build a relationship on the right foundation. Ndio kama mnawachana muachane na story ishe. Now after that, when you have done your premarital counseling, you have had hard conversations. The purpose of courtship is to have hard conversations. Then you get into the stage of engagement. And now engagement becomes formal. It's officially, everybody knows. He has popped the question. You don't make an assumption. I have seen women walking around here with rings amejinunulia, hakuna mtu mwenye alimpatia. Amevaa pete ya harusi, hajafanya harusi, ulitoa wapi pete? This is where now it's very important to go through this stage. Let him ask you, will you marry me? Do you want to build a life with me? Please, ladies, do not skip this stage. Wacha kutoka kwa dating, umeingia kwa marriage by kuanza kuzaazaa hapo kama sungura. Go through the stages. Alafu unaanza kusema huyu mwanaume ananisumbua. What I didn't even know what I signed up for.
Nyokabi hapo kwa sungura umechoma.
Unaanza kusema ati sijui, I don't know what happened. He has run away. We can't find him. Please find him. Did he ask you to marry him? Did he say he wants to be in a romantic relationship with you? Did he say he wants to build a life with you? Stop being at different levels in a relationship with your partner because you're not talking and you're not asking the hard questions. Let him go down on one knee. Yes.
Even as we talk about the engagement part, because it's really important as we laugh about it, we make it very clear that
Yes.
in definition, what does engagement entail? And even as we talk about what it entails, how long should you say I've been engaged? How long?
It is a formal.
Mimi niko engaged.
It is a formal proposal for marriage. A formal proposal for marriage. The intention is to get into marriage. An engagement should not go more than 2 years, because during the engagement period is when you're supposed to do your traditional rites, then you do your spiritual rites. And we are giving it a period of 2 years because now it stops being about the two of you and it starts being about your family. And if you skip the stage of courtship, if you didn't do your premarital counseling during your courtship, then during the engagement period is when you actually do your premarital counseling. But you shouldn't do your premarital counseling 3 weeks to the wedding. Ati mshapanga harusi, mshanunua nguo, mshabook venue, mtu wa catering mshampatia chakula, ndio mnaanza kufanya premarital counseling. Mtu anakuambia uko kwa premarital counseling ati ana over, haizi beba mimba. During unashindwa sasa. What will I tell my mother?
Nyokabi.
Yeah.
Nyokabi, turudi hapo nyuma.
Ama pasta amesema ngoja kidogo, ama pasta amesema muende mlete results zenyu za HIV test. Mmoja wenyu amekuja hapo akiwa positive. What were you doing during
the period? Amekuja na kisonono.
Yes.
Na moja peke je.
Yes. Na mmebakisha wiki moja mfanye harusi. Now what do you do? What do you do? Mnafanya harusi but you don't want to get married, but you're avoiding to embarrass your family.
And then on top of it kuna hawa wenye wanagojaga hivi. Wanasemaga ukiona tu mtoto Mkristo ameharakisha tu wedding within 2 weeks. Iko tabu.
Iko
matunda. At the point of engagement.
Yes.
And I want it to be clear, between engagement and courtship, at what stage do you need to actually reveal about your past? Or the past is gone, you're a new revelation of God, na isaulike? Because you have situations whereby somebody tells you, by the way, you know my firstborn is 17. Unamwangalia hivi, unapendua kichwa, they do not look anything close to that. Or during the wedding day, mtoto anakuja hapa, nimekuja harusi ya mama. Why do you need to reveal these things, Nyokabi? Because these things are hard small. Like someone is putting it on the comment section.
Yes, you reveal these things during courtship. And that's when I said you have hard conversations. Because during courtship is when you decide whether you want to get engaged and proceed to getting married. Do not reveal these things during engagement or after marriage or just before marriage. Because then you force somebody to marry you. Na ataki, asha change mind yake, but sasa because ameita kila mtu, amelipa venue, amenunua nguo, amelipa photographer, anakuja anafanya hiyo harusi.
Mnaoana mkiachana.
Yes, instead of having a broken marriage, I would rather you have a broken relationship. You count that person as your ex because they could not handle you. You should have talks about children. How many children do you want to have? What if I can't have children? What if you can't have children? These are conversations you have during courtship and not engagement, because engagement is formal. Everybody knows you're engaged. Everybody is already involved. Your pastor knows, your parent knows, your aunties know, your friends know. Because even if you don't do the big engagement, yenye naona watu hapo wanafanya sijui setting the standards, mtu anakuja na ndege hapo kukuengage, that is nonsense. You should have a conversation together and say, hey, let's do this, because there should be a conversation about it. I feel like the relationship has evolved to the next level. Are you willing to go that 9 years with me?
Yeah.
Are you willing to take the next step with me? But if you come with a chopper, uanguke hapo, umeandika hapo will you marry me mbele ya kila mtu. Sasa una expect nini? There are people who propose in malls. Unawacha hapo kwa mall, umepiga magoti at the engagement gone wrong. Simu Google hizi vitu online. You're in a different level in the relationship.
Mbona Google na namba yako hapo? Ndio Google, Nyokabi wapigie simu.
Yes. Sit your partner down, an intimate conversation between the two of you before you go to the public and announce that you're engaged. The two of you must first understand that the relationship is moving from courtship to engagement. And what I normally advise people who are my friends who ask me, I want to engage a particular person, I always tell them, before you propose, muulize, boss, is there a demon that you have not told me about? This is the time. Is there a child in the village that you have not told me about? This is the time. Is there an abortion? Is your mother crazy? This is the time to tell me. Is your brother a gangster? This is the time to tell me. Where are the skeletons? Yes. Yes, where are the bodies hidden? This is the time to remove the skeletons from the closet with this person during the courtship, so that they open up to you and they let you know, and you say, yes, I can live with this. Yes, I still want to go and continue and engage you, even after I know you have 10 children or 1 child or 5 children. And you ask each other, sasa huyu mtoto atakuja kuishi na sisi? Because there are people who engage you, analala leo akiwa kijana, anaamka akiwa baba ya mtu, anamuita dad. You know, these conversations you are having them before they engage you. Imagine wewe umefanya harusi, unajiambia leo ndio umeoa, the next day unasikia daddy, mtu mzima anakuita daddy at school fees. School fees. I married your mother yesterday on Saturday. School fees.
Tafadhali kijana, hii bangi unatumia si nzuri, rudi kwa baba yako.
Shida inaanzia hapo. Ama anakuambia wewe si baba yangu, usinitume, unanituma nini? Unajua sasa huyu what is this? These are some of the issues that are bringing a lot of problems in relationships early, and these are the things. Go the 9 yards, have these conversations. Mkitoka engagement and tumesema ni formal, kuna rights zimeperformiwa, kila mtu anajua, mume have had conversations. You have during engagement is when you don't do your premarital during engagement, do it during courtship. But if mmechelewa mmefanya during engagement, make sure mmefanya hizo vitu zote zenye mnafaa kufanya, HIV test, have those conversations and be open to separating. Even at this stage, it is better to have a broken engagement than to have a broken marriage. Marriage is not easy. Ukishaingia umeingia. Yes, it is better to have a broken engagement than to have an unbroken marriage. So at this point, still be okay with leaving your partner. Nyokabi, is a lady supposed to ask the man when he's popping the question? That's why I'm saying, Ambata, this conversation should happen in private. Muulize uko na baby mama wangapi wewe? Because at courtship stage, you should have already had those conversations. And you're okay with the person where they are. You're okay with your past. You're okay with your present. You're okay with your future. You're comfortable with who they are. Yes.
My understanding of this question is a lady supposed to ask the man, when are you proposing? Like,
no.
Ngoja vile tunangoja Yesu. We were told Jesus is coming soon. Continue waiting and pray and watch. For no one knows the time.
No, Ambata.
Not even the sun.
Ngoja, Ambata. Miaka 3 ikipita na kuoneshi signs, jipatie shughuli.
Nyokabi, you are going to break a lot of relationships this night. Usicheze vile unacheza hivi. You are playing with fire, Nyokabi.
There is no such thing as being engaged for 10 years or 15 years or 30 years.
Nyokabi,
if he has not proposed, engaged, he's not going to propose. Jipe shughuli. Mama, tembea kubwa kubwa. Tembea walk big big.
Nyokabi, what if Nyokabi, wait, Nyokabi, you are burning the bridges.
This is not the men's den.
What if, and I'm using a very big what if, Nyokabi, what if your ambitions are also different? For example, you want to settle in a relationship as a married man and woman, but you have your university that you are going to pursue to finish. You equally have your medical degree that you are trying to finish. And then on the other hand, you have no finances. Mutakula mapenzi. Ati juu hujakuwa propose unatembea kubwa kubwa. I do not believe and subscribe to that channel.
Wacha nikuulize, what has money got to do with engaging somebody? What has money got
to do 3 years? And you've told them they have to stay 3 years. If they are engaged, it has to be within 2 years. And then we have no money to get married.
Plus 12. Na kuoneshi signs za hii relationship inasonga. Haujui watu wao. Mna interact at first level.
I want you to understand that there are a lot of presidentials, first ladies, hopefuls that you are killing their dreams in this stream. Please
walk big. I repeat.
Do not walk big. Do not walk big. I'm still planning.
Nipatie shughuli. Kupata mtoto.
Let's go to the comment section.
Ngoja hata kwenda comment section. kupata mtoto haitafanya akuoe. Kumove in kwake without his consent will not make him marry you. Walk big. There is somebody out there for you that wants you, that will make the decision like this, like a heartbeat. Wacha kukwamilia hapo kwa mtu mwenye haja decide, hajijui, hajielewi, anakuacha hapo ukiwa confused, ujui wewe ni girlfriend ya nani, ujui wewe ni boyfriend ya nani. Walk big. Yes, go to the comment section.
Interesting that you've said that, Nyokabi. You could be in a relationship whereby your girlfriend's girlfriend is her boyfriend. What do you do? Ushaichanganyikiwa? Nyokabi, have you ever been confused?
Wacha nikuwekee comment hapa uone siko peke yangu. Ukweli wa mambo.
Ukweli wa mambo amesema namna gani?
I walk big. Kama mtu wa propose, wewe jipatie shughuli. Eli, you know, by there I have a friend of mine. She has been engaged now for almost 10 years.
That is now the spirit. That is the spirit of stagnation.
10 years of your life. Atiyo sijamaliza kujenga.
Stagnation. Refuse.
Goja, atiyo sijamaliza kujenga. Atiyo sijui nyumba imefanya sijui nini. Walk big. Una waste 10 years of your life.
Meanwhile, are they still harvesting from the honey pot?
Of course.
In these 10 years.
Yes.
It's all right. Nyokabi, thank you very much for reminding people and spoiling our relationships. It's all right. Kipro is saying, "Hi, babes, I'm gone." Nyokabi Kamau said we shouldn't wait. Nyokabi, unavunjia watu manyumba hapa.
Kiprono, Roda, kimbia ni kuna moto. Jipatie shughuli.
Emma Kiai says, "True. Hakuna kuforce issues." And you know, Nyokabi, for the first time, we have people like Emma Kiai who have never been here. Welcome to the big family. We have these discussions every Wednesday. So always tune in because we have shows 5 days a week. So stay tuned and you get to know which ones we run every single of these 5 days. Nyokabi, let me see what gentlemen are saying here. There is always something with Gaddafi. Let me see tonight, amesema nini. Heart in heart, why are ladies ever afraid to propose? Is this not a mutual deal? I prefer a woman who hit on me than me chasing her. What a woman can do, a man can do. That is a story for another day. We have Sarah and Jojo who is enjoying the show. She's just laughing it out and saying, "Nyokabi, thank you. I don't know what I told you, natuharibia manyumba Nyokabi, and these are the signs."
Okay.
Nyokabi, you've broken our home tonight. Boy child is under Sieke.
Tunasondeka. Hey, tunasondeka.
Miki Kamau.
Tunatengeneza.
And thank you, Miki, for joining the show. Yeah. And really enjoying
from Berlin.
Watching you.
She's all there from Berlin.
The family is growing. The family.
Yes.
That's why I told you to, Nyokabi, I told you to take the classes for English and German, and you unaniangusha.
Unaona leo vile nimeongea Kizungu. You see today the way I've spoken fluently. Wewe hata unafaulu. Akwapi akina Ambata waniambia congratulations.
Step big is not English. Nyokabi, step big is not English. I've been fine tuning you for the last few months. Hauski. Where uko tu? It's all right. We have again Sarah and Jonjo who say, "Thank you, Sarah, for coming to the show. You umepotea sana, nitakutafuta after this." Nowadays, we meet on Facebook through mutual friends. The next thing, I'm posting you all over social media. Hizo levels Nyokabi zinaitwa nini? Zinaitwa kwa unagurukwo.
Zinaitangwa madness. Kitu haifanyi kazi vizuri.
Jipost kwa screen saver. Zingine achia mambo ya Mungu. Collins Kipkoech, thank you for coming to the show. And Nyokabi, we have talked all this. We have 5 minutes of fame. 5 minutes of fame to define what is a marriage. Twende kazi Nyokabi. Because that is the last step of the 9 years.
What is a marriage? First of all, the first thing about marriage is I don't define it by the legal obligations that you have to the legal binding contract, which is the legal binding contract, or it's an agreement. I define it as an agreement between two people. You sit together between the two of you and God, you agree or you get into a covenant to be in a marital state, to mean that I'm your partner for life and you're my partner for life. That is what I define marriage to be. And you have to understand that this means that we'll share everything at all levels. We'll share weaknesses, we'll share strengths, we'll share money, we'll share lack of money, in sickness and in health, in happy times and bad times. And that is why I normally say, before you skip the rope and get into the 9 yards, know what are your deal breakers. What is your deal breaker? If I got sick today, would you stand by me? Because that is what marriage is about. If I lost everything I own and I was disowned by my family, would you still stand by me? Would you have my back? If I could not have children, would you still stand by me? These are the things, the decisions, and marriage is an everyday effort to love the person who you have chosen to build your life with, because they are constantly evolving, they are constantly changing. And there's a slogan I always say, that marriage is not a joke. Marriage si mama yako. Marriage is a serious, si mama ya mtu. Marriage is a serious covenant. And as much as you think, oh, I'll get into marriage with this person, akinibo nitoke. I have seen other people who have gotten out of their first marriages and they're in their second marriages and they have built blended families. Marriage is not a joke, and it's not easy. It is not a bed of roses. And if you want to call it a bed of roses, then you must think about the thorns that come with roses. Don't just look at the beautiful flowers. Always think about the roses that are there. So marriage is commitment. Marriage is a covenant. Marriage is an agreement. It is commitment to love that person when they're up or when they're down, when they're okay, when they're not. It is a covenant because marriage is ordained by God and joining together is ordained by God. And God is the one that says, what I have brought together, let no man lay asunder. And I always say, if you want to target marriage, go ahead. You're fighting against God, because He's the author and the finisher of that marriage. It is an agreement. We sat down and we agreed we are in this together. You have to be faithful to that agreement. Then there's the issue of certificate. The certificate is neither here nor there, unless the issue of inheritance come in, and the issue of names and the issue of children come in. The certificate is neither here nor there, because the relationship is between you and the person you are married to. Are they married to you? You could be married to somebody alien, they're not married to you. You could at that is by, I have couples who come and say, "Ati my husband did this." Your husband, I'm not your husband, and they have 5 children. And I'm not your husband, and I ask him, "So who are you?" The father of the children, but I'm not her husband. So you need, a marriage is an agreement between 2 people. Do not get into a marriage without an agreement. Sit down with your partner and agree that you're getting into a marriage. Have that conversation so that God can stamp it. Before the government can stamp it, God stamps it. Before the family can stamp it, the 2 of you have stamped it. It is it's paramount. Eli, it is paramount. And I wish young people would take time.
There is a madness, Nyokabi.
Yes.
There's a very serious madness. You make boy child go into debt. You make boy child start the first day of their life of marriage in debt because of that nonsense at a small level called wedding. Is wedding and marriage the same thing? Because a lot of girl child are very confused with this thing.
I look at weddings like a birthday. The way you choose to celebrate a birthday. You buy a cake, you dress up, you take photos, you do, it's an activity. It's an event. But the marriage is the 2 of you. It has nothing to do. And I want to use an example of a couple that recently my husband and I met. And we asked them, you guys have been living together for the longest time. You guys have been living together. Why aren't you officially married? And they told us they don't have money. So we asked them, how much money do you need to get married? Because certificate ya government, first of all, hata ni free. Mnahitaji pesa ngapi? Oh, sijui tuko na family 200, sijui we have to consider this. Oh, when you think about, do you people want to get married? And within no time, these people got married, and they did a wedding with 150 people, and it was a beautiful wedding. They keep coming to our house and telling us, Aki mulitusaidia, because marriage is between 2 people. The wedding is just, and it's a symbol. It's an activity. It's over a day. You don't need to wear 150,000. I have also had people posting on social media wanasema ati my dowry sijui ni 2.5 million, ati kwetu wewe ni gari kwa yard. at 2.5 million. Wewe ni gari kwa yard?
Nyokabi.
Are you a vehicle in the yard? Or are you a grocery in the supermarket? Ati mtu amekuja hapo na ile pesa yako nayo. You're not looking at their character. You're not looking at their behavior. You're not looking at their beliefs. You're not looking at who they are. You're looking at what monetary value they're bringing. Atakupiga na ukimuuliza na kupigia nini, akuuliza si nilikununua 2.5 million. So unaandika kwa social media dawari yako ni 2.5 million na nikakununua hiyo 2.5 million. Nikitaka kupiga hii gari yangu panel beating, I'll treat you the same way. Yani unataka rani serious. Girls are out here
panel beating. Because the only panel beating you're supposed to be beating each other is the other one. This panel beating of people of maneno mepotea. Let's do this, Nyokabi. Show imeisha, by the way. Show imeisha, Nyokabi. Show imeisha. And for everybody that joined us in the conversation, this was a great conversation. So keep it going. Share the link. You know, let those who didn't watch have a look and listen to what we discussed about. You can always do an honorable thing. Go to Facebook, find the page, The Arts in Heart. That's the handle, The Arts in Heart, and just click on the thing that we say like. Mona, your jina Raisi, as you see on the screen, that is The Arts in Heart. Click the like, and you can equally follow. And with the same name, it's actually on YouTube. This stream is equally multi-streaming on YouTube. So head on to YouTube, subscribe, share, and turn on the notification button because we have interesting stuff going every single week. And how can I forget Nyokabi Nyokabigk Kamau? Mwalimu wetu teacher anafunza mapenzi mazuri, kutuambia tufanye shtiach baada ya kupendana usiku mchana jioni kama panado. That is her page. Go to nyokabigk, or rather, nyokabigk on Facebook. That is the page. And you can equally follow her on nyokabigk Kamau on all social media platforms. Any social media platform you think about, she's there. Okay?
At
Facebook.
I wish watu wamewatch show leo, the 15 of you wenye mko hapa bado. You can go to YouTube and subscribe. Yes, and subscribe. Watch a few videos and subscribe, and please help us grow as we also grow you the same way.
How do you want us to just be sitting here? Tunaongelesha ako karo muache.
Mchukue na ako karo. Wote ni karo.
Tuache ako karo. Karo kakupendana. Tumesema tupendane.
Subscribe.
Yes. Easy, so difficult. Nyokabigk Kamau. Uwezi tafuta hiyo jina? Like seriously. Like 254-7808-10987. Get in contact with Nyokabigk Kamau for all other relationship questions. Dating, you know, unataka kushanga msichana ni pesa yangu anapenda ama ni roho yangu. By the way, no romance without finance. So kuwa na pesa yako kidogo, msichana atakuja na sahani yake kama nerea. Having said that, thank you so much for everybody that joined, including Anne Babes. Love the discussion. Thank you so much, Anne, for coming to the show. Noreen Ambata, tuende nalo. Ebu subscribe ujue story. Sarah Njonjo. By then, niko na vita na Sarah. You've been MIA for too long. Hey, baby. Uko hapa. Kipro Roda. Thank you so much for always coming on. Yes. And we still have a challenge with Nyokabi ya TikTok. Nyokabi, we'll be coming to that discussion after the show. Miki Kamau, thank you so much for coming to the show. Gaddafi, the most controversial gentleman in this stage. Thank you so much for making the conversation wonderful. Collins Kipkoech, Emma Kiai, who is this? Miki Kamau, actually, I've already mentioned. Godwin Segero. And yes, all the others that I have no time to mention. Now, shukuru sana Sharon Adhiambo for the first time. Yose, Jay-Z, thank you so much for coming, and every other single person that made sure we sticked here. Fatuma Mohammed, it was a pleasure having you. And every newcomer, remember, the show continues on Friday as we go into Through My Lens. So find out what we have for you on Friday on Art in Heart. The time is 9:30 p.m. East African time. Nyokabi, unataka kuambia watu kwa heri ama tukafunge?
Kuna mtu ananiambia hapa subscribe to your YouTube channel. Wewe umeandika Art in Heart, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Okay. So
subscribe to our YouTube channel. Great. Yes.
Yes. So good evening, everybody. I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. We had an amazing viewing. I could see macho pale mingi kabisa. We really appreciate that you're sharing and that you're staying for the 1 hour. We don't take it for granted. That's a lot of data. Thank you for staying with us. And whatever you're learning, please remember to leave it on the comments below. Let me know on my pages, interact with me so that I know which topics do you like us to handle. Do you have a question that has been burning and you've been wondering, what to? How I address the issue? Bring it on the comments below and we will respond to those questions and even have a show. We can even host you. This month we are having a run. Early before tufunge hii kitu, tuko na run tunafanya ya ku-encourage watu, ya ku-build watu. So some of those relationship challenges that you're facing, please send them to us. Send us your story and we will guide you right here on how to go about it. For the next 1 month, we will be solving all relationship challenges. So topic tunazitegemea kutoka kwenyu, maswali tunazitegemea kutoka kwenyu. So ziacheni hapo kwa comments, send us on our inboxes and let us know what are some of the things that you're facing in your relationships and how would you like us to help you and to address those issues. And we are right here for you to walk through with you. So Eli, funga hii kitu.
It's been a pleasure hosting you. My name, as always, is Likuyani Eli. On Facebook, follow me with the Arts in Heart as the handle. You can equally reach me out on TikTok. Yes, I don't dance a lot, but I have very smooth moves. And my name, as always, Likuyani Eli. See you. To all the ladies watching tonight, you are just special. That's why, with the courtesy of one Eshuchi Lumumba, ninawaimbia kawimbo kanaitwa My Girl. Till next time, God bless you.
I've been around long enough to see you growing into a beauty. I've known you, girl, and by now it's all clear. You are the one. I've seen you cry and laugh, I've seen you frown and smile, and now I know I want to keep you smiling. I've seen you love and hate, I've seen you sad and happy, and now I know I want to keep you happy. So my whole world, I want to build around you, and my whole life, stay with you, my girl, 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 my girl. 'Cause you're the one that I've ever desired, and your love just gives me assurance. Na tabasamu yako lapendeza, na isikuwa mimi ni wewe ni mimi. You are the one, you are the one, you are the one that I desire. You are the one, you are the one, you are the one that I desire. Where when you that I desire. So my whole world, I want to build around you, and my whole life, to stay with you. Oh my God, 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 my God.